Hey, this is Mike Bustamante, Keller Williams Realty. Glad you dropped in today. We're going to be talking about purchasing a home and what you need to be doing with your money and your credit and a few other things. Stay tuned. We'll be getting into that in a moment. Otherwise, if you find this channel of importance or get any good information out of it, just subscribe. I'll be dropping new videos all the time. Okay, let's first talk about financing. You're going to be saving up money. You're going to have down payments and other costs coming out. Make sure you don't spend any of that money as you're looking for a home or coming up to buying a home. You don't want to see a big fluctuation of credit cards or any kind of big debt coming up. And the money you're going to need, trust me, you'll need it when you buying a home or right after you get in a home, things you need to buy or maybe fix. Your credit, make sure your credit is good. Always keep an eye on it. If you're planning on buying a home in the near future, get it checked. Talk to a lender. Ask them what it is you need to do to get your credit score up. There's different things you can do, and you'll always need the highest credit possible. It'll make a big impact on your interest when you get a loan for the home. You're going to make sure you get pre-approved before you start looking for a home. You want to know what you're going to be comfortable with in payments. You need to know, can you afford a 15-year loan, or you're going to do a 30-year loan? And when you're making offers, they want to see the pre-approval right up front. They want to know you're a serious buyer and that they would want to consider your offer. If you send it in without a pre-approval, they'll likely just look it over and go for the next offer that comes in. The money like we're talking about saving, some of those things will be going to sleeper costs, which a lot of first-time homebuyers especially don't realize. There could be property tax, inspection tax, inspection costs, the move-in costs for a home. You need to create a budget as you're thinking of buying a home, and you need to stay within that budget. Since you're buying a home and you've never had one before, it's going to be a big payment. So trust me, you're going to start learning how to manage your money much more effectively. It's going to really help when you get a home so you don't have as much of a shock on the money you're spending every month. Before you go out looking at homes, make sure you do your research. Kind of decide what areas of town you want to live in, or if you want to live in the country. Try to learn the locations of what's going to be best for you. And what exactly is important to you. Some people, it's just the school districts, so they want to make sure they get the best school district for their children. Of course, the school districts, some of them will update their boundaries every year, so you'll need to check in advance so you make sure you're not buying a home in an area you don't want to be in because of the school district. You're going to spend time in the neighborhoods. Once you figure out exactly what area you want to live in, drive around, look at the neighborhoods on the weekends and the nights, see what kind of activity goes on in the areas, see what's close by the area. Is there farming? Is it next to a big football stadium? Things that might affect how you're going to live your life. Make a wish list of what you want in your home. Now, you have to rank them from the best to the worst, because I've never seen anybody find a really perfect home. There's always something they wish the home had that they can't have. So you need to figure what your top 3 or 4 things that you can't live without in a home, and you may have to compromise on the rest. Until you can afford a bigger home or a custom home, this is what happens. Also, browse online. It's a little easier looking online as to different neighborhoods. You can do research in different areas. This will really help when you're trying to decide where you want to live. Now, as you're out house hunting, there's a few tips. The best, easiest thing to do is to get a real estate agent to help you out. They can get homes to you in your price range the day they come out. They can tell you a little bit about different areas depending on what you're looking for, where you want to live. Then they're going to take you out showing you some homes. So make sure you set enough time aside to look at each home, to walk through it. And it's not like buying a shirt or a pair of pants. It takes a little while. You got to learn what you're looking for in different homes and what you really like or don't like. You'll learn as you start looking at homes, things you had not thought about that are kind of important to you, and it may change your list of priorities, which is normal. You need to stay flexible. When you walk into a home, use your imagination. I mean, a home may be really cluttered. It may have old furniture, or maybe they've got real brand new modern furniture, and it gives you a certain feeling. Look beyond that, because the furniture is going to leave. You need to look at the home and what does it have or not have that you want, because you can always paint, you can change doors, change carpet, you can always put new windows in. So stay kind of flexible if you've got a home that needs a little work, because you may be more concerned about the area you're living in. And being flexible helps a lot when you're looking for a home to buy. Sometimes you may need to take photos or write notes as you're looking at homes, because after you've looked at several, they may just all start getting all jumbled up in your head, and you can't remember which home you saw or didn't see, and which one had the crazy carpet, which one had the extended wall in the house. There's different things. So you may always want to take some photos. Of course, ask the agent before you do that, because there are some homeowners that do not want photos taken inside their home. So make sure you check with that before you start snapping photos. Now, there's a few other things to keep in mind, such as HOA fees and rules. If you're going to buy in a gated community, the HOA fees are looked at as another debt. It's not really worked into the home mortgage. So that's going to be a separate amount you're going to have to pay, and they could get quite expensive. Also, the rules, they can tell you what you can and cannot do, even though you own the property. So you want to check those out and make sure you really want to live in a place that has HOA fees and rules as to what you can and can't do. Property taxes. This is a decision you'll have to make. Do you want your property taxes taken out of your monthly mortgage? That way you get used to it. A lot of people do that. Otherwise, you're going to get a bill at the end of the year, a couple of times a year, and it just could be massive. It could be, $1,000, $2,000, and you don't have it saved up. It's not always a good thing to get behind on your property taxes. The market as well. We don't know if the market's going to go up or going to go down. So you do have to take a little bit of a risk when you're buying a home. Hopefully you're not buying at the top of the market, but the market does go down and does come back up. So you need to, again, do some research, talk to an agent. They should be able to help you understand those situations. Bidding wars. You may be in a situation where there's a bidding war going on a home. Don't get too overly excited. Make sure you stay within your budget. If you only want to spend $1,500 a month, and to get the home, your mortgage is going to go up and you have to spend $2,000 a month, that $500 a month could really hurt you, because that could be what you're spending on other things like food and clothes. So don't get too caught up in bidding wars. It's not always the best thing to do. Stay within your budget of what you can afford, and if you can't, just move on to the next home. When you're looking at homes, look around the neighborhood. A lot of homes have been built where they're surrounded by vacant fields. Now, you don't have any idea what they're going to build there. You can always call down to the city, see if they know if anybody's going to pull some permits. You can find out if it's zoned commercial or residential. If it's zoned commercial, there could be some businesses going on around there that are going to be built. Of course, you may never know. If it's private land, they could end up being sold in 10 years, and maybe condos and stuff will be built there, or apartment buildings. You have no idea. But that's something to keep in mind and consider when you're looking at homes with vacant land around. So a few final things to think about. You'll be needing to get homeowners insurance on your home before it closes, so you're going to have to be looking around to try to get an estimate of what that cost is going to be as well for you, since you will have to have homeowners insurance at all times. A couple things to think about is you might have some border disputes on your property if you're out in the country. Make sure you look at the prelim. It's all mapped out as to where your property is and where your property lines are. That may be something you want to think about. You may want to measure out, may want to inspect that. And as I mentioned before, you may want to get a 15-year loan instead of a 30-year loan. It'd be something you have to talk to your loan officer about. It may help and may be a benefit to you. So this is about all I've got to talk about today. I hope this was of interest, and I hope this helps you out. So again, Mike Bustamante from Keller Williams. If you find any information here you find useful, please subscribe to the channel. Drop me a line, send some questions, give me a phone call, whatever you need. I'm located right here in Fresno, California. Until then, see ya.